Our third point then, our third commandment here is shapes to elasticity to intent. That's to give a bit of guidance around when you are doing some speed work, break it up into mini sections. This is rarely going to be a full session. Like you can't dedicate time to it. You have all your typical skills of the sport, plus all the tactical stuff you want to develop, the team cohesion, your systems of play, everything like that. At a max, you're probably going to get about 20 minutes, if lucky. Maybe the standalone session might be different, but realistically, you're going to get about 20 minutes to develop speed within as part of an overall session. So it's worth breaking that down to give yourself a bit of a structure, a bit of guidance around what should that look like. I break it into these three sections that I've just said there. Shapes, elasticity, intent. The shapes are essentially the positions or the postures you want to be in. Ultimately around technique, but we're going to talk about technique next in a bit more detail. But the shapes you want to get into, around your hips, whatever it might be with your upper body or your torso you want that to be in. Spend your first few exercises, and these are essentially like warm-up exercises or extension of the normal warm-up, to develop those shapes that you want to get the players into. Then you want to try and develop some elasticity, particularly down around it's not just around the ankles and the Achilles, but it's the lower part of the body, with some element of bounce, reactivity, something that gets you hitting the ground and coming back up off it again. So through your pogos, your bounds, your jumps, your hops, your skips, and that incorporates hitting the ground and coming back off it again quickly. And then you're going to develop in the intent. So you develop the shapes to get the postures and the positions you want to get into. You add some elasticity to that, and then you add intent on that. And the intent can be developed through, I'm a big fan of using wickets, and I'll do more video stuff on that. Races are probably the best thing to drive intent. If I'm lined up beside one or two or three other lads on my team, I want to beat them, or I don't want to be beaten by them, or I want to limit the amount. If I know it's someone faster than me, I want to limit the amount he's going to beat me by, or if I know I'm faster than him, I want to maximise the amount I'm going to beat him by. That's what drives the intent. Something like flying 20s, or if you have access to timing gates, that can also be really good. Let players race against themselves, their own previous times. If they can cover whatever distance in whatever time, you want them to try and beat that ever so slightly, week on week, provided conditions are in place to do that. And that's what drives the intent then. So you start with getting your shapes, you try and put some form of elasticity or reactivity on it, and then drive intent through your true hard sprints.